Jackson's performance this year affect his future in Baltimore?
It could be up to Lamar, it could be up to the team, but it remains in question as long as he doesn't have a contract extension. He's got 2 years left on his deal. They cannot franchise him. That's in the contract. And they went to him about an extension this offseason, and it didn't get done. So as long as there's no extension in place, we have license to wonder about his future in Baltimore because what if he doesn't want to have a future in Baltimore? He can play it out and go to free agency in 2028. So it's worth noting that in his first year in Greg Roman's system and in his first year in Todd Monken's system, he won the MVP award. So this new system thing could be a very good thing, and he could come out of this season feeling great and sign a billionaire contract to stay in Baltimore, 100% on the table. But it's a situation that's in question because if there's no extension before next spring and he's only got a year left on his contract and they still can't do one, you have to wonder whether there's an exit strategy.
Also worth noting in these situations, Lamar Jackson represents himself.
Yes.
He does not go the route of having an agent. Jordan Rodgers, how confident are you he and the Ravens, with a brand new coaching staff, can return to form this year?
I'm very confident. That's because what Graz said about his first time in new systems, being a baller and getting MVPs, that's really hard to do. But we have recency bias over what we saw last year. He was a shadow of himself. He was not healthy. His threat as a runner was greatly diminished because of the lower body injuries that he dealt with all year. He only had 2 games after he came back from injury with 30 or more rushing yards. You know how many he had in that MVP season?
How many, Jordan?
All but 2 games he had more than 30 yards. So when he's a rushing threat, this offense is nearly unstoppable. I think Declan Doyle is going to add some of those wrinkles, the play actions, the under centers, but still use him in the gun as a runner, and we're going to see this offense take off.
Mike T, let's look at it from the other side. Lamar Jackson's only ever played under John Harbaugh. So this is the first time he's going to get himself a new head coach. What does it look like if things don't go well for he and the Ravens this year?
Oh, I still try to sign him to an extension. As Graz alluded to, this is a 2-time MVP in the prime of his career. And one of the things you talk about from a front office perspective is if he leaves the building, who are you getting?
Right.
Like, you're not going to get somebody more talented. I think it's very instructive when we saw them bring over Declan Doyle, because I think this offense is going to be more like Chicago, Detroit, 2 tight ends, heavy up the protection, keep Lamar healthy. When you do that, it makes them a lot more explosive. So I expect them to play well, but even if not, I think Baltimore is really smart. I think it's a long, long time coming before he leaves the Ravens.
They are the favorites to win the AFC. Despite everything we've talked about, a brand new head coach, a brand new OC who have never done the job before, they are your AFC favorites.
It surprises me because there's more mystery around this team than we're used to seeing. Everybody loves Jesse Minter. I think he's going to be a really good head coach. We don't know. We don't know if Declan Doyle is going to be a really good offensive coordinator. We don't ever know, honestly, if Lamar Jackson's going to get through the season healthy. That's been a thing for him, too. So there are a lot of question marks about that. I do think the defense is going to be better.
But, Graz, like context here, Buffalo has a new head coach. New England certainly has a lot of questions on the offensive line.
I get it.
Kansas City with Mahomes' availability and, his health is a big question. So to me, the AFC has a lot of questions.
I mean, they're the favorites to win the AFC North as well, and we've been talking about Cincinnati nonstop. Buffalo, Kansas City, other teams lurking.
I wouldn't have them as the favorite to win the AFC North. That's the thing. We were just talking about the Bengals with that offense, a healthy Joe Burrow, what they added on defense. I would have them as a favorite. And I've been a little sneaky on the Steelers, too. If Rodgers is healthy, this is a team that is going to surprise some people. It's not an easy division, let alone the AFC as well, with all those question marks. First-time play caller, as well as a first-time head coach.
No doubt.
Division, like usual, is going to be quite fascinating to watch throughout the course of the year. 11 last year, the worst record since Burrow's rookie season. The quarterback knows the urgency and importance as the season approaches.
I'm tired of saying next year. This is it. Your life is too short to keep pushing things down the road, and trying to instill some urgency and some intensity in everybody to go and be great every day and try to go make it happen.
Do you feel like it's got to be now or never?
That's how I'm treating it, for sure.
This feels like it's been a recurring theme for the Bengals and Joe Burrow throughout the last few weeks and months. Jordan Rodgers, as you listen to that, what comes to your mind?
Sounds like a guy that is sending a message that he's kind of tired of the promises that the offensive line is going to be better, the defense is going to be better, and a guy that I think is sending a message that he might not be here in the future if things don't go the way they've been promised to go, because Joe Burrow's not the problem. When you look at the last time he had a full season, he threw for 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He's MVP caliber when he's healthy. in the 3 years since they missed the playoffs, they've lost 16 games. Of those 16 games they've lost, only twice did the defense hold the offense to under 24 points. The defense has been the issue. And yes, he's been banged up. He's missed time. And I get it. The best ability is availability. But you got to block for him as well. And I think that's what he's saying. Like, it's great to look forward and, hey, we're going to fix the O-line, fix the defense. At some point, that's just been empty promises so far. And Joe Burrow is ready to deliver on his end. And he's kind of questioning whether the team and the front office is going to deliver on their end.
Does Burrow deserve any of the blame here to shoulder for what's going on in Cincinnati?
Yeah, of course he does. You know, he's the battlefield commander, as Coach Parcells would say. First of all, I love what he said. That's what you want. You want a sense of urgency. He could play better, and he certainly could help protect himself, you know, talking about all those hits. But let's give Cincinnati credit when you talk about how they attack the other side of the ball. And guys like Dexter Lawrence, Boye Mafe, Brian Cook, amongst others. So if this defense, guys, is middle of the road, they should be look, I think they're going to win the division. They're the only team that has a returning head coach. But this is a consequential year in Cincinnati without question.
Yeah, I'm just not sure, Jordan, what promises the front office has made and not kept. Right? They spent to keep both of his receivers. They spent a lot on the defense this offseason. The offensive line has been an issue, but it's not for lack of trying. They have a huge contract to Orlando Brown. Their right tackle was a first-round pick. Their left guard and center were free agent pickups. They're out there doing what Burrow needs them to do. Whether it works or not remains to be seen. That's a matter of, did you pick the right players on defense? But Burrow has to stay healthy. That chart, you said they've lost 16 games over the last 3 years. He's missed 16 games over the last 3 years. He has to be on the field. If he's on the field, I don't think there's anything stopping this team, especially given their schedule. But they have made it a point of stressing to him, and he knows, like, we need you to be there.
It's not really
every
his
game.
fault that he's not healthy. No, I know. That's not. I agree. It's not black and white.
Yeah.
But the accumulation of hits. You said it this morning. How many sacks has he had over the last? 200 and something over the last. I mean, he's been hit so much that he's gonna get hurt. And I think so. Yes, part of it's on him. Every quarterback can get rid of the ball, can protect themselves better. But until and I agree with you, Graz. Yes, they have made moves. But as good as Dexter Lawrence is, he doesn't fix the second worst defense or third worst defense in the NFL on his own. It's got to be a collection of all the guys they added, and they all have to come together for that to happen. And until then, it's still just an empty promise of, hey, oh, we went and got these guys.
Yeah.
Well, oh, we didn't get the right guys? Well, that's what Burrow's fed up with.
Yeah, I mean, to defend the Bengals said nobody ever. It's the idea that he wanted Jamar Chase, who he played with at LSU. They drafted him. Totally. He wanted Chase paid. He wanted Higgins paid. He got both. Now, you could have let Higgins go and reallocated that money because you already had Chase. They didn't want to do it. When his contract came up, there wasn't a lot of shenanigans. He got paid. Every which way, it looks like what he's asked for, he's got.
Yes, and look, they because of what they spend on their offense, they had to go a little bit cheaper on defense over the last couple of years. Their early round picks, guys like Myles Murphy, haven't really hit. And that's where the failure has been. That's why they end up having to go out in free agency. That's why they have to trade the 10th pick in the draft to get a veteran defensive tackle. So they know this, but they've done what they could to address it. I think at this point, what we say is if Burrow can play all 17 games, there's no excuse for this not to be a high-level contender.
And to take it behind the scenes, I'm sitting down with Joe Burrow at the end of last season, if I'm the GM of the Bengals or ownership, and saying, hey, we see the same things you do. We're aligned. We're going to attack it. We may not be perfect, but at least if he's brought in, like, you're not the GM, but you are owed some deference here. Here's what we're planning to do. So I would make sure that he understands clearly what the mission is, how we're going to attack it, and then at least he'll feel like he has some sense of ownership in the process.
Those conversations did happen, but they also included a part where they said to him, hey, Joe, we need you to work with us on making sure, you contribute to your protection as well. Like, there are aspects of this that we need you to do differently to stay on the field. So it's a two-way street, and I believe he knows that.
Let's say the Bengals score 27 points a game, 28 points a game. They're one of the top offenses in the league. Defense is good, not great. They get to the playoffs. They lose in the second round. How are we all feeling about next year? That's obviously not a success by their standards, but is Burrow confident enough, do you think, to want to stick around?
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. And again, sometimes, like, continuity pays off. Again, Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh all have new head coaches. They need to take advantage of the window they have here.
This can't be one of the worst in the NFL, right? Yeah,
Yes.
You're not going to go from one of the worst to a top 10 defense. It's not going to happen, even with the pieces they did add. But if you can be average, if you can be good, Joe Burrow can get you to a Super Bowl with that offense and a good, not great defense.
He's proven it.
Yeah.
Let me show you something with the facilities from yesterday. Take a look at this, because this is where the Bengals will find themselves coming under fire. Joint practices with the Bears. This is
Caleb Williams.
quarterback Caleb Williams. You may have heard of him. Not a junior high player crossing the street to the middle school field.
Look out for the manhole cover.
Potential
with the
for
cleats
future
on.
MVP. Bronze, he has to cross the street to
Yeah.
get to the field.
Everybody does. I've crossed that street. Look, it's
You
across
do it
the
with
street
tennis
from the-
shoes.
Yeah, no, I know. It's an unfortunate look.
That is a horrible optic. To Jordan's point, you're wearing cleats.
like,
That's your franchise quarterback. Imagine if he
The
slips.
stadium's in the
Should
middle
we
of
at least
the
have
city.
laid down
Is there
some?
does he have to push a button at the crosswalk?